We all dance this fine line with our best performance and the danger that's just on the other side of that.
When you're sitting up top of a jump, it's kind of scary. Like, injuries are there, risk is there, danger. All these things play this crazy whirlwind in your head.
At the end of your life, it's not about what you have. It's not about what you've collected. It's about what you felt. That's why we do this. You and your master strokes, I mean, this is who you truly, truly are.
I think I like kind of blacked out for a second.
Are you okay?
When you slam like that, you just take a moment. You don't know whether you're injured or not. You're like...
As soon as I was airborne, it was just like, no, shit. You know, it's just instantaneous.
It was really a scary crash, the worst one I've had this year.
All I'm focused on in that moment is breathe. And you're pushing through pain that I can't even describe.
I actually thought I might have damaged my back.
Every single time that I want to help someone, I know how scared I was.
Are you okay?
Injuries suck, man. I hate getting injured. I've been through the ringer, but it can always be worse, you know?
I mean, I get goosebumps when I think about this. I got in my sled, and as I'm pulling the glove on, you can see it in the video, I'm pointing to the ring like, I love you, babe. I'm just thinking about Shauna. Started up the engine, and I'm rolling. And when I hit, the light switch went on. Belly button down, nothing. The nightmare. Exactly what, as athletes, you think through. Really, what if half of my body left me? And it's always right there. But it's never one of those things you think, oh, that's gonna happen to me.
Last thing I remember is just the sound of like an automobile crash, just this horrendous, just explosion. I just woke up on the snow, kind of do this weird thing whenever I kind of crash hard. I like check my teeth with my tongue, you know, like that's some indication, you know, and like all my chiclets were there. So I was like, okay, sweet. And then I moved down my body and I kind of remember my buddy skiing up to me and I was just like, dude, I'm effed. Like, I can't move my legs. And he's like, what? I'm like, I can't move my legs.
Fuck, man. We're all taking risk. Anything can happen.
First run of the day, just hit that jump. I ended up going about 130 feet on a 100-foot step up. I came down from 30 feet in the air, and the resultant impact into the snow burst fractured my T12 vertebrae right in my spine. No sensation, no motion, no movement, no nothing. You know, when I woke up that morning, I had no clue what would be next.
The first thing that like entered my mind was just like, I've got 2 daughters at home. Like, I have to walk them down the aisle.
Right as we get out of triage, Shauna, I remember she thumped me on the chest, don't you change a single one of your goals. And we began in that moment right there with nothing below the belly button, and we knew that we had each other and that we would make it.
When I was hurt in 06, this guy came and visited me. Very similar injury to myself, had a T12. He looked at me and he's like, oh man, let me tell you how sweet you have it. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like, and then he starts telling me about how cool it is to be in a wheelchair, to like grab chicks' butts, and like how drunk you can get and not fall over, and how it's okay if you puke on yourself because people will clean it up. And I'm like thinking to myself, are you kidding me? Like the hospital sent this guy in to instill positivity into me?
It's not a place that's easy. It's easy right now to talk about the positivity and the stoke and where we've gone from our challenges and our struggles. But every person's journey is different.
You know, walking is, you know, the third thing they're sort of worried about right now. First is bladder control, second is bowel control, and then third is walking. And like that kind of stuff never even like factored into my mind.
Remember before like Google and Yahoo got big, there was AskJeeves.com. I would have given anything to have a Jeeves in my room to be like, hey, why couldn't I go pee? Why were my feet bent down and twisting outwards like they had a demon inside of them? What is happening? What's the time frame here? But I didn't have that. All I had was a guy who was gonna tell me I could squeeze butts.
And in those moments in the hospital, the body's saying, you're done, that's all there is. This is your limit. But something inside you says, I've got more.
That is like the essence of living. You can look at situations in 2 different ways, always. If you can choose the positive route, man, life's so much better.
You have to get in tune with the idea that things happen not for a reason, but for a purpose.
I knew that, I wouldn't be the only person that would fall into the same shoes that I did. It just kind of came natural to me to say, hey, I should start a foundation to instill positivity and resources and inspiration to those that suffer life-altering injuries.
I mean, injuries are always going to be out there, but great things High Fives does, these guys are still going out and conquering the world.
If you can find the positive out of the negative, you will literally overcome anything in your life.
I don't know, I'm taking lessons here. Got some good training from these guys.
It was kind of late in the afternoon. I was just sitting in the neuro ward, and when I tell this story, I'm like, in walked Roy and Grant. Like, just the act of them walking into my room, man.
And then as we started to talk, you could see this like weight, literally like a weight come off his shoulders.
I think that's one of the greatest parts of High Fives. It's supported a community.
I suffered the same injury that all these folks that we've helped have sustained. So I am like the Hair Club for Men guy. I'm not only a client, I'm also the president.
If you get injured, most people say sorry. Most people say sorry and come up to you with remorse and sympathy and sorry, whereas Roy comes up to you and just punches you in the face with positivity.
It wasn't like, oh yeah, bummer, tell me about this and that. It's like, this is what you are going to do. And you're like, yes, sir.
When Roy sets a goal for somebody and he lets a person pick something that's so far out there, that's a whole nother level of empowerment.
Grant and Roy brought this shining light into that hospital room, and they sort of laid that path out to be like, you're gonna do this. It was like, yeah, I am.
If you tell somebody, what I want to do is ski, and you've had a spinal cord injury, it's almost laughable. Like, good on you, man. I love it. But when you work hard to ski again, on your way there, you learn to walk.
A line that I've used a lot with athletes that we've had is, it's gonna be different, but it's gonna be awesome.
I remember looking over at my wife, and I was just like, holy shit, dude, that guy is walking Santa Claus. He is like better than Santa. Every day he is delivering people like just goodness.
There's a term in kayaking called epicking. When things go poor, when they go bad, when you end up having to overnight, it's horrible. You're cold, you're wet, you're scared, you're having an epic. And it's not like it's fun in the moment, but when it's all said and done and you move through it, past the point where you thought your mind or your body would have quit and given up, you evolve as a human being. I think that's something for me that is a perfect parallel to what I'm going through in injury.
Like every single day you walk into the healing center here, you just can't help feel good about yourself, You just open that door and it's just like the sun is in here, It's just like, yeah.
Anytime you get past your challenge, that is where self-development exists and that, oh my God, magic happens.
Part of the recovery process is just what you're willing and not willing to sort of accept. Every day they'd be like, can you move your toes, push down, pull up. I was giving the effort. I could have lifted a car like off your kid, like everything I got is like going into that. And it was just, flicked like next day, let's just do that again and maybe we'll get a little bit more.
A spinal cord injury is no different than any challenge. You can't go through challenging experiences and not be a better human being or a more perspective-filled human being if you choose to be.
The damaging force that's put on the spinal cord is usually permanent. Full recoveries are really hard to come by.
First day back on skis, it was pretty special. It was pretty special.
So to see Eric, literally go down the hill again,
You see all of the unbelievable no's that he was faced with. No, 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 you may never. And he just grips over that wall, clicks in, and turns downhill. And you see the freedom. You see the achievement. You see all that hard work.
Get rid of the asterisk. I'm just a skier again, And it was really important for me to have Heather there to see that. At first turns, she had the call that nobody wants to get. So I'm sure it was even. A lot of things go through your head.
On the other side.
so rad, man.
It's a true treat to hang out with these concrete pillars of perseverance, of resilience, love, positivity. That's something that I really admire and aspire to be. An awesome human being, point blank.
You think about it, it doesn't even matter that my back's broken. For me to get out in my sit ski and rail a turn, slash John and spray him and laugh and feel that dopamine just dripping down my hat. I mean, yes, honestly, that is where the bliss lies. And if we're not here to feel that, I don't know what we're doing.
Sure, it's
ruined my whole day, dude.
Isn't it amazing how that happens? You know, you're having the best day, and then your back breaks.
Yeah.
You're like,
And you can't move your legs, and you're trying to push yourself up.
Yeah.
You're just not figuring out why.
it's like, how come this isn't working?
Alaskan holiday. It's a game of patience.
When you're sitting here and just going nuts inside, the best hit you've ever hit is right here, and you haven't seen it for days.
It finally breaks, and it's like kind of magical. Patience pays off in Alaska.